Christmas dinner, my stepsister said, "I think it's time you all know who's been ruining my life." When I was 7, my dad married Linda, and I got a stepsister named Brooke. We were supposed to become best friends, but it didn't work out that way. Brooke was always quiet and awkward, even as a kid. I tried to include her, but she just seemed off, like she was somewhere else. My brother Jake never liked her and thought she was weird, but he was polite enough to her face. Linda, Brooke's mom, was the sweetest woman I ever knew. She got sick when we were teenagers, and my dad was amazing through all of it. He was the rock of our family, always keeping everyone together. He encouraged me to be patient with Brooke. "She's had a hard life," he'd tell me. "Just be kind to her." And I tried. But Brooke's life was always falling apart. She didn't get into any colleges and had to go to community college while I went away to a good school. She couldn't hold down a job and got fired constantly. Her boyfriends never stuck around. My dad helped her over and over, getting her jobs, co-signing apartments, lending her money she never paid back. He'd shake his head sadly whenever something went wrong for her. I just wish I could help her, but she won't help herself. We all felt bad for Brooke, but honestly, we were exhausted by her constant disasters. The worst was when Linda was dying. Brooke just disappeared. She didn't show up to the hospital once and missed the funeral entirely. My dad made excuses. She's struggling. She couldn't handle it. But Jake and I never forgave her for abandoning her own mother like that. Years passed, and Brooke stayed quiet and weird at every family event. She'd show up, barely eat, never talk, leave early. I figured that was just who she was. This Christmas, everyone was at Dad's house like always. Brooke was there, silent as usual, pushing food around her plate. Then she put down her fork. She looked around the table slowly. "I think it's time you all know who's been ruining my life." Everyone froze. My dad laughed nervously. "Brooke, honey, what are you talking about?" "I got into Stanford," she said calmly. "Full scholarship." I was confused because Brooke didn't get into any schools. She pulled out her phone and showed us screenshots of acceptance emails from Stanford, NYU, Northwestern. Dad intercepted them, changed my email password, made sure I only saw rejection letters. Dad shook his head. "That's ridiculous. You're confused. I had a trust fund from my biological father, $200,000. She slid a bank statement across the table. "You drained it when I was 19, forged my signature, used it to pay off this house." I looked at my dad, then at the house we were sitting in. His face was starting to change. "Every job I got fired from, you called them, told them I had drug problems." Her voice was cold. "Every boyfriend who disappeared, you told them I was dangerous and obsessed." Jake leaned forward. "Dad, what is she talking about?" Brooke pulled out a folder full of documents, but the worst part was Mom. She looked directly at me. "I wasn't traveling when she was in the hospital. I was in a psychiatric facility. I couldn't breathe. He had me committed, told the doctors I was suicidal. I was locked in a room for 72 hours while my mother died." She held up a piece of paper. "He signed the commitment order himself, then told everyone I was too selfish to show up." I turned to my dad. His face was completely blank. "Dad, tell me she's lying." He didn't say anything. "Dad, she was unstable," he finally said. "She was going to make a scene. Your stepmother was dying and I couldn't risk Brooke ruining." Brooke slammed her hand on the table. "She was my mother, the only person in this family who was ever kind to me. And you made sure I couldn't hold her hand while she died." My dad held up his hands. "Everything I did was to protect this family. You stole my future. You stole my money. You trapped me here. And you let everyone think I was crazy and broken for 10 years. I was crying now. All those years I blamed her. Thought she was just a mess who couldn't get her life together. Brooke, I didn't know. I swear I didn't know." She looked at me and her face softened. "I know you didn't. That's why I'm telling you now." She stood up and tucked the folder under her arm. "The lawsuit's already filed. Fraud, theft, wrongful commitment, forgery." My dad stood up too. "Brooke, please. We can work this out as a family." She looked at him. "We were never a family. I was just someone you could use and blame." She walked toward the door, then stopped and turned back to me. "I don't blame you for believing him. You only knew what he told you, but now you know." I sat at that table for an hour after she left while my dad tried to explain. I called Brooke the next day and we talked for hours. "The lawsuit is still pending. I don't speak to my dad anymore.